Hello there. Today, Republic. I don't even know if I should do that. I feel like I do that too much. You know?
Hello there?
Yeah, I feel like I do it like once every 3 months, and then I feel like it's too much. Anyway, today, Timmy, aka Republic Bricks, sent me 2 of what I think might be some of his best models for free to review for you guys. We have the ATOT. Pretty nice set, at least in the garbage bag. And then the Republic Dropship. And together, they make the Republic Dropship with ATOT. One of the most coveted LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars sets ever. New in box. You can be paying over $1,000 very easily for the set. And used, the cheapest one I could find on eBay right now, was over $700. Now, by comparison, Timmy's ATOT costs $300. And Timmy's Republic Dropship costs $320. Together, that's $620, which is cheaper than what a used version of the LEGO set costs. And these are pretty much just recolors of the LEGO version in this particular case. Now, he does sell a combo for $550, so if you actually did want to get both and use code M&R, you can get them both for a pretty nice discount at $550 off the $620 that it would be if you ordered them separately. But this is the Munilus 10 Republic Dropship, and hopefully Timmy has sent all new parts. I won't know right now if they're all new. I can definitely tell you throughout the building process if everything is all new, but typically most things are going to be all new unless he's told me that the parts are exceptionally hard to come by. So that is going to be everything for the Dropship there, and this is supposed to be, I believe, the Munilus 10 style Dropship. Oh no, this is the ATOT. I'm a dummy. So this is the ATOT, this is just a standard style ATOT. And here, we should have the Munilus 10 style dropship. And I've had the Munilus 10 gunship, excellent model, one of my favorites that he sent me, but he told me, I believe, the Republic dropship is even better, so I'll be the judge of that for sure. A lot of dark blue, gotta love dark blue for a Munilus 10 style dropship. More parts. Looks like the bags are obviously going to be separated by color, which is a really good thing for custom sets because you don't always get that, but Timmy does seem to go the extra mile and have them all sorted by color in each bag. So, Republic Dropship, ATOT, if you were going to buy this, $550. LEGO, obviously, because they haven't made it in so long, a lot more expensive. Let's find out if this is worth the money. So I unpacked everything for the ATOT first, and all the parts from my once-over look to be brand new, which is what you're going to want to see with a set like this, except the windshield pieces. All of the windshield pieces seem to have scratches on them, which would indicate they've had some use somewhere along the line, which is unfortunate, and so I looked them up on Bricklink, and it looks like they are very hard to come by in quantity. So if he's mass-producing ATOTs, obviously they're going to be expensive, and the ones that he could buy, I suppose, would have been $5. So kind of gets a pass because this is an expensive part for a set when you add it all up, and you know how all that stuff works, I assume, at this point, but it just gets rather expensive. So I guess this was the cost-cutting measure of this set, was to have used windshield pieces, which isn't ideal, but I guess it's just the way it has to go. So I'm getting into the build here of the Republic Dropship, and I'm a little less impressed with the piece quality. These are a couple used, some scratches. These ones definitely seen better days. Definitely some marks on there, and that piece is broken, and this piece is broken. So if you were to buy this, you may have a little replacing to do, or you may have to take it up with Timmy. All right, the first model out of Timmy's models here is the ATOT, and it certainly has some pros and cons, and we're going to take a look at it compared to the LEGO one, which I have down there in a moment. But first, I wanted to take a look at it on its own. You're going to notice it's really rigid looking. It certainly doesn't have any movement to the legs, which I thought was odd at first when I was building. I was like, oh, maybe this work. It doesn't work. The legs don't move other than at the ankles. They don't move in the way that the LEGO version does, which may be disappointing to some, maybe not so much to others, but rigid legs are rigid legs. They do look good. I really particularly love the design for the feet on the ATOT here. They just look really good. So you can see they move like this, but like I said, the actual leg assembly, not the feet, doesn't move, and so you actually don't get like the separation of the legs like on the LEGO version. But it's got a handle, which you can use to pick the build up and swing it around, bring it around, whatever you're going to want to do with it. It's a really strong handle. You don't have to worry about it breaking or anything like that. On the rear of the build here, we have some bubble turrets, which are always nice, and then we actually have a little pad to drop down, and you can have troops kind of walk up. The ramp is a bit steep on this set. It's steep on the original LEGO version, and that holds true here in this version. I remember modding my LEGO version with another plate on the end of this so that it wouldn't be as steep, and that's certainly something you can do. Yeah, that's the thing. It's really steep. It's not really practical, but then again, do you actually walk your figures up into vehicles? No. So it's impractical and it doesn't look great, but that's still a holdover from the Lego version. For the seating, they use not chair pieces, actually. They just use brick-built assemblies here, and you can just sit a minifigure down on there, which looks rather nice. It fits in. You can still put your dropship on when some figures are sitting down, and you can also use these weapons here. There's only one weapon on each side, but you can have a figure stand backwards in the chair and man the gun to take out whatever droids may be approaching or whomever the enemy is in that case. So you have some really nice troop carrying ability. I believe about 15 seats for your clone troopers, and then you could of course probably smash some more in there. Wherever you want to kind of squeeze them in, they could squeeze in. There is nice detailing on the sides here with the nice red accents, and then as we get to the front of the model, we don't have stickers because they just don't have stickers on these custom models for this, but on the Lego version there's going to be stickers, as you'll see, so you lose a bit of detail there if you will, but you can actually pull this back to get to the interior of the cockpit here, which has a control panel, which is a nice touch, and you can again sit a figure down in there to pilot it, close it up, and you are going to be good to go and on your way with the ATOT. Now this is also what you're going to have to do to prepare the set to be carried by the dropship. So you have to pull that back and then you have to push up the head of the ATOT just like that. So it's on a hinge. It works really easily. When it's down, you don't have to worry about it too much because something's going to be blocking its movement. But that again is the same mechanism the Lego version uses. Let's bring the Lego version in. Side by side with the official Lego model, you can see the stickers certainly help the Lego model look a little bit better for the cockpit. The rest of the set doesn't really have any other stickers. We do have the printed piece here, which is actually absent on the custom model, but that's no biggie to me. It just kind of fits the vibe of the custom model. And then we work back, more stickers. You see the chairs on this set are a darker green versus the sand green of the newer custom set, and obviously the legs are a big difference between the sets. You can see it's a little bit of a struggle to get them to fold down sometimes, but honestly, like looking at it like side by side now, I don't even know which one I prefer, folded down or rigid. It is kind of weird to me now because I've always thought, oh, it should be folded down, but this doesn't look as bad as I thought it would next to that. Honestly, this looks a little bit awkward, and it makes this model look like really extra long. I don't know why I'm feeling this way all of a sudden, but I am. But yeah, so that's something with the models. That's something you can decide for yourself what you like better. You can maybe get this to stand up straight, kind of, maybe, not really. It was made to have the legs fold down. You can see the design for the feet is much more simple on the Lego official model than the custom model, so that's definitely something I like better on the custom model. The ramp, all the same stuff that we saw on the custom model. It's basically the same thing. Now, it's substantially different. Like, it is a different build quite a bit than the original Lego version, but they still essentially do the same things minus the stickers and the ability to bend at the knee for the custom ATOT. Let's take a look at the dropships. So the dropships won't compare quite in the same way that the ATOT did because the custom dropship here is a Munilist 10 style, so it's a slightly different color scheme. I will say I'm not a huge fan of the way the teeth on the front of this look, and honestly, Timmy does sell a regular version of this too that you could totally go for if you don't like the look either. I prefer the look that I had on the gunship that he sent me. I just think it looks better, but if you're into this look, it works for you. I think the rest of the color scheme is fine. I just think like the teeth at the front look a bit odd. For Lego, they just used a big plate with the stickers, so you can see some artistic value in this, I suppose. But the dropship for the custom version is actually a good bit shorter than the official Lego version, and that was surprising to me. I didn't think that was going to be the case. I thought they were going to be the same size. For the people that say, oh, it's just a recolor of the Lego model, it's not. It's a really, honestly, different model, more or less from the ground up. I mean, you will see similarities in the build because they're based off the same thing, but these two in particular do not share a lot of the same thing. Even the mechanism for the carrying of the ATOT is different on the custom version. It's substantially different. So I thought that was interesting. You can see some of the cabling on the Lego version versus the cables on the custom version there. The wings on the Lego version, rather plain, of course, but this is a Munilist 10 version, so it's given some extra dark blue stripes, which I think look rather nice. The engines on the Lego versus the engines on the custom. The handle on this one is a bit small, and I often kind of knock into these when I pick it up, so I'm not a huge fan of that, but you can see it can be picked up and carried quite easily. It's a strong handle. You don't have to worry about anything falling off for the most part, as far as I can tell. And the same can be said for the Lego version. There's just nothing that you're gonna like knock off if you hold it in a weird way. But yeah, you can shake it around and you shouldn't have anything falling off. So pretty good in that way as well. The cockpit on the custom version uses a bubble piece versus the cockpit on the official Lego version uses an older piece, of course, because it's from 2009. Conceptually, they both perform the same way. The Lego version does not have a control panel, while this one does have one of those older style printed control panels. It's nothing special, but it is a control panel, so it's a nice detail. But yeah, this one's a bit more tight, but it doesn't really matter. They both fit one figure. They accomplish the same goal. Now, I think it's kind of interesting to pull up this and show some of the inner workings of the dropship. If you've never seen this, it's kind of like the spine of the Republic dropship for the Lego version versus Timmy's version over here. If we lift this up, you can see the spine looks to be a little bit stronger. It looks a little bit more rigid versus the Lego one, which has a bit of a bend thing to it. You know, you can get it to move around a little bit. This one seems to be a bit stronger, right? Like they just use stronger pieces or whatever the deal is. They definitely changed it up quite a bit from the original Lego version. The only other thing kind of worth noting is that there are some flick-fire missiles underneath the wing of the custom version here, and that's about it. Here you can see the mechanism for lifting up the ATOT, and I'll show you the Lego one just to show you that it is indeed a lot different. Here's the Lego one, so you can see way different. And the wings on this, oddly enough, see the wings on that didn't fall down when I flipped it over. The wings on this fell down. That's kind of weird. But yeah, anyway, you can see the mechanism, completely different mechanism for this set. Hopefully nothing breaks when I drop it back down. There we go. Let's put the ATOT on this and see how that functions. So if you remember from earlier class, all you have to do to put the ATOT under the dropship is lift up the cockpit area for it. And for the custom version here, you kind of have to hold this up. So the dropship is already prepared. Basically, when you take it off, the things go back in place, and then we're going to put it on that bar on the ATOT. It's going to push these up, and these things are going to come across under it, and it will carry the ATOT. It's pretty straightforward in my opinion. So you have to hold the bar up, and then you have to push it down, and then it clips around the bar like so, and it works very well. It holds up the dropship and ATOT all as one there, and it's a pretty strong build. It is rather nice to set it down because the ATOT's legs are so sturdy. Now this dropship, of course, is a bit shorter, so it actually comes up tighter on the ATOT, which I actually quite like the look of. It's a little bit more compact than the Lego version. So both models are very different in a lot of ways. Obviously, if you're looking at getting a Republic dropship with ATOT, the cheaper option seems to be Republic bricks at about $550 for the pair, versus Lego, especially if you're going used, is going to cost you about $700, new well over $1,000. So you can see with this set, you're going to be getting mostly new parts, although in my experience, I've gotten a few used parts, so keep that in mind. But with the Lego version, of course, used, you're already getting all used parts, if you will, for more than you get for this. So it's a trade-off there, but some people are certainly going to prefer the original Lego model, and I think I find myself in that boat. I just like the Lego version, but Timmy's model isn't either. I think the dropship is a particularly strong upgrade over the Lego dropship because I like the shorter bit there where you don't have as much of a gap, and I certainly like the strength of this set versus that one. That one just feels a bit weak to me when I hold this one in comparison. It just feels like it's a stronger build in a lot of ways. Now, like I said, he sells a regular version. This is the Munilist 10 version of the dropship, so you could get a, in my opinion, better looking version of the front end if you get a regular one. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments section below. It's actually a pretty compelling custom set in my opinion because of the value of the original Lego set being so high. If you guys enjoyed this little comparison review, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. And again, thank you to Timmy from Republic Bricks for sending me his Republic dropship with ATOT. Peace out.